On the 14th of July 1919, France staged a huge military parade down the Champs-Élysées in Paris to the Arc de Triomphe, officially marking the end of World War I and acknowledging the enormous loss of life that France had suffered in the Great War. 1,327,000 Frenchmen had died in uniform. To put this number into some kind of perspective, France's dead equated to 16.8% of her entire armed forces. Her dead was twice that of Great Britain and over 10 times that of the United States. One part of France's army had distinguished itself greatly during the conflict, the air service. Of 17,300 personnel engaged in World War I, the French Army Air Service lost 5,500 pilots and observers killed. That's 31% of the entire force. So when the French government announced before the Great Parade that the surviving aircrew would not be allowed to stage a flypast and instead had to march on foot like common infantry, many were outraged. A group of disgruntled ace pilots met secretly in a Paris bar to decide on a course of action. It was decided that a stunt should be arranged for the day of the parade. One pilot would fly his biplane through the Arc de Triomphe over the tomb of the unknown soldier. The pilots asked Ace Second Lieutenant Jean Navarre, who had 12 combat victories to his name and was a national hero, to perform the stunt. He flew a red Nieuport 11, named the Guardian of Verdun. However, while practicing for the Arc de Triomphe stunt, Navarre crashed and was killed on the 10th of July 1919. Navarre's tragic death messed up the pilots' plans to fly through the Arc de Triomphe on the day of the parade, as they now needed to select and train a new pilot for the mission. Warrant Officer Charles Godefroy volunteered. Godefroy inspected the Arc on foot with a friend. It would be a tight fit for his Nieuport 27. His aircraft's wingspan was 8.21 meters, or 26.9 feet. The width of the arc is 14.5 meters, or 47.6 feet, leaving little room for the slightest error. Like Navarre, Godefroy decided to practice. He used a bridge over the small Rhône at Miramar, making repeated low-level passes, though it was not as tight as the Arc de Triomphe. 3 weeks after the victory parade, Godefroy was ready to make his protest flight. The flight would be filmed, something of a novelty at the time. A camera was placed either side of the Arc. No warning was given to the authorities. Taking off at 7:20 a.m. at his airbase near Paris, Godefroy approached the Arc de Triomphe from the west and circled it twice. He dropped down to rooftop height and flew along the Avenue de la Grande Armée, increasing speed and trying to line up on the narrow opening. It was tight, but Godefroy made it, storming through the Arc, scaring the living daylights out of pedestrians, the whole thing caught on film. Returning to his base, no one was the wiser. However, the film of the stunt was banned by the Paris Commissioner of Police, and Godefroy's name eventually hit the papers, but he got away with just a warning. Godefroy gave up flying after the Arc stunt, and he died in 1958, aged 69. One of only 3 men to have flown through the Arc de Triomphe, and the first to have done so. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and also help support my channel at PayPal and Patreon. Details in the description box below.